Oh, thank you.
Hey everyone, before we get this episode started, also, I wanted to sound like a YouTuber, that's why I started off with, hey everyone, like, subscribe below. You know how YouTubers are. Okay, but before we get started, I want y'all to know we are going extra big with the All-Star season of Vulnerability Time podcast. So, guess what? We got video podcast. So, click in the episode description below if you wish to watch the video of the podcast as well. It'll be a YouTube link, so you can go ahead and get it going and get watching it. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe below. Such a YouTuber, right? Anyways, folks, enjoy the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Vulnerability Time. I am your host and published author, Josias. Hey, by the way, check out these super cool headphones that I got. They light up. Isn't that super cool? I feel like such a podcaster. I feel like, let's see, I got my shirt on right? I feel like such a YouTuber. I feel like such a gamer with the headphones. And it has a mic. So this fixes the solution of things echoing. If you heard the previous episode, you could hear the echo. It's because my software updated, and I don't know what the heck it did, but whatever it updated, it made shit echo. It's never done that before. But honestly, it all worked out for the better because I get these super cool headphones, and they're like $30. So that's super cool. We love that. Okay, folks, so this is just a bonus episode. It's just a continuation of part 2 of what trauma has taught me. That other episode that the part 1. Go check out the part 1. So what I'm so sorry, y'all. I just had to burp it out. I didn't even see that coming. I didn't even see myself do that. It just kind of happened. It just kind of glitched in the matrix or something ridiculous like that. So this is what I'm gonna do with this episode. I honestly don't have the energy to really go into depth about the statements that trauma has taught me. I'm just gonna kind of say it. I'm gonna try to go into depth with it, but if not, that's okay. So the reason being is because y'all know I suffer and struggle with suicidal ideations because it's a symptom of my mental illness. And so this past week and a couple of days ago, it's just taken a lot of energy out of me, and I had to contact my support group like 2 times within the past week and a half. And so it's just taken a lot of energy out of me to fight to stay alive. So I'm currently recovering from the energy that was taken out of me. So yeah, folks, there's power in a support group. There's power in reaching out. But the reason why I decided to do an episode is because I was like, it's vulnerability time. I don't want to have to wait until I record an episode. I don't want to have to show up as my best self. No, I just want to show up as a human being. I really try to fit the whole theme of, vulnerability time the best that I can, because I truly believe that vulnerability is victory. And so I want to just come victorious, come as I am, who I am, how I am, what I am in the moment. And right now, this is the best that I can do, is just being able to just talk, say statements. So also, speaking of YouTuber and also just being on a podcast platform with these earphones, folks, go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow below. Or follow if you're listening to this like on Spotify or Apple or any other audio podcast platforms. But if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share below. Isn't that what YouTubers say? Isn't that kind of cool? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say the statements, and I'll let you interpret whatever the statements mean for you. Um, so let's see. Okay, so let's see. Here's what I have in the notes. I learned. Okay, so I'm just gonna say the statements. I'm not even gonna say I learned. I'm just gonna say the statements, folks. I don't know what the fuck to do right now. Okay, so it has do what's convenient versus do what is right. You know, that might not apply to every situation, but it might apply to some. Let's see. I had to give in order to keep. Just because it is broken doesn't mean it can't be understood. Just because it is bad doesn't mean it can't be understood. Not everything has to be good to be understood. Addiction wants to keep us alive while it kills us. Addiction is a survival mechanism. Let's just say that. Our conditioned biases, when met with discomfort, can cause us to project the discomfort. And that can look like denial, anger, attack. That's what that can look like. Let's see. Oh, don't test recovery. It is very fragile. I'm going to try to muster up the energy. Basically, y'all know I struggle with webcam. So what I would do is I would go on the webcam and just see who, like the guys that are there and how attractive they are, and test myself to see, okay, will I do it? Am I recovered enough to not do it? But it's like I'm just kind of like testing the recovery when it's fragile. Like I'm putting myself in positions willingly where I wouldn't need to, and most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, I end up falling and relapsing. Okay. How can I be so confident in what I don't know? How can we be so confident in what we do not know? Listening is important when we don't know something. I am not fully knowledgeable in an area, but I do have knowledge in it. Let's see. The more money, the more energy that it can take out of you, the more spiritually and emotionally taxing it can be. I realized I had to ask myself the question, am I even ready for a lot of money? The responsibility that comes with that. Gotta make sure that the fight to stay humble, the fight to not spend unnecessarily, the fight to not give away so much, the fight to be smart with it, the fight to not impulse buy. Just anything. It can take energy to be smart or do what's best in that moment. So it can take energy from having money. I don't know what this next statement means, but I put down it's a heart meaning. Not everyone can speak or chooses to speak. Words are not the only things that come from the heart. Ooh, thanks higher powers for downloading that into my mind. I forgot I wrote that. Oh, here's one. We have to acknowledge problems in order. So, for example, if we're going to hold things accountable and hold people accountable, we got to hold a situation accountable in the order that it came. For example, we blame the person's reaction, but we don't blame the action that caused the reaction. It is important for us, if we're going to hold someone accountable, we're going to have to start, in order, because we're going to end up finding out that, guess what, this person's reaction was understandable. Doesn't mean it's right, but it was understandable, and we can better approach and be there for the individual when we are able to fully hear them and understand what all went on the best that we can understand it. Okay, let's see. There is a time, a place, and a way to speak to someone. Ask yourself, is this the time, is this the way, and is this the place? All three have to match. All three have to align. We can be right at times, and sometimes we can just be our best. Our best will look different. Like right now, my best looks like absolute shit. I am having no energy. I have no energy. But it is my best. And so therefore it is best. It is not shit, even though it kind of looks shit. It's not shit. Okay, let's see. Oh, an apology costs you nothing except your pride. Apologies cost nothing. It only costs pride. And when I tell you, folks, pride is not our friend. Oh, yeah, it thinks we are. I mean, we think it is. But pride will... sorry for the clacking noises. My throat hurts, and sometimes clacking helps it feel better. Is it helping now? No, but, you know, better. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Am I right? Okay. Anyways, yeah, pride is that fake friend that just uses us for the good moments. Okay. Oh, here's one. Miracles aren't just exclusive to the Bible. Miracles aren't just exclusive to sacred texts. Miracles happen every day in human lives. Doesn't matter if you're religious or not. Okay. Oh, here's something. We are humans first. Will you accept that? Then accept everything else that comes with being a human. Accepting is not exclusive to agreeing. We don't have to understand something to accept it. Accept the human being as they are. Not everyone's going to align to what we think is right or what we think is wrong. There's a human being. Human beings aren't their rights and their wrongs. We are human beings. You know? And folks, you could miss out on the love of your life because we're taught to look at, oh, this person's wrong because they are this way. You know? I'm like, hey, we can all, not everybody can learn and grow, but a lot of us can learn and grow. And maybe it just takes patience in order for someone to learn and grow. Don't be quick to discount yourself or discount others from growth. You know? Notice I mentioned ourselves as well because we're just as important as the other person. Oh, here's one. My actions used to beg people to love me. Sorry, let me re-say that again. My actions used to beg people to love me. Here's another one. God will do the work that we can't see. I want to turn wreckage into courage. Not many things get healed in the hiding. Let's see. Ah, shit. Just like a plant, in order to grow, things have to be taken. That is so true. You know how some plants need to be cut and pruned in order to grow better. That word taken means too much to me, but it is a reality that it's not everyone's reality. It's not everything's reality, but we are a lot like the earth that we live on. Her name is Gaia. We love her. Well, we can do better at loving her. Am I right? But yeah, sometimes just like a plant, in order to grow, things have to be taken. I can attest to that to some areas in my life, but other areas I'm just like, I don't think I grew because something was taken. Like, fuck that, give it back. Okay. Oh, we wouldn't learn that much if everyone was a Jesus. Basically meaning that we wouldn't learn that much if everybody was just like us. Am I right? It would just only encourage our biases, and when it's just an encouragement of biases, there's not growth because you're just staying stuck in the same cycle. So it's important to expose ourselves slowly to other communities. Just because you feel uncomfortable with the community doesn't mean that you're not biased. Just because you're uncomfortable with the community doesn't mean that you hate them. It just means that you're not exposed to them. And like with almost anything, exposure is what is needed. And then comfort comes. So folks, you just got to be patient with yourselves. It's not about being patient with the other community. It's about being patient with yourself. Allow yourself the space to feel uncomfortable. There is growth in the uncomfort. Folks, I need to remind you that your biases and your uncomfort, that did not start with you. It started to you. So, it is not your fault. However, it is our responsibility to grow. Unfortunately, something's not our fault, it is our responsibility. I know, I hate that statement sometimes, but let's be honest, it's true. Oh yeah, this is for all the folks who are religious out there. Christ still has holes in his hands. Okay? That basically means that you can forgive someone. That doesn't mean the damage hasn't been done. And just because we're still living our damage doesn't mean that we haven't forgiven someone. Learning to fly is from the fallen. You know, when birds get thrown out of their nest and their parents are like, fuck you, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Okay, they don't do that. They do that because that's the only way for them to learn is by falling. So sometimes, folks, when we think we're falling, we're actually flying, and we're actually learning to fly. Let's see. I don't know what this next statement means, but I know it meant something to me when I wrote it. So I'm just going to say it, and if it means something to y'all, we love that. It says, I struggle to silence because it has been taken so many times. So when it's time to silence, it's triggering that I may never speak again. So I think basically that means is that, like, I don't know. I don't have the energy to go into that, but that statement will land on the right ears at the right time. Sometimes the more you go through, the more you are able to grow through. Let's see. There's a difference between being controlled and influenced to do something. Let's see. Don't fake it till you make it. Face it till you make it. You gotta face it till you break it. Let's see. If we don't know, then how can we grow? Why can something be a blessing but also a burden? Knowledge is a burden, folks. It's also a blessing. I honestly, folks, there's like a little bit more, and I mean just a little bit more left to say. Maybe I'll do a part 3, but I'll do a part 3 with someone else on. I'm gonna go take a mental health break and just decompress and regather myself. I don't have the energy to continue talking anymore, but I love you guys, and Yeah, I will see y'all next episode for whatever that will be. If no one has told you today that they love you, please let yourself know. Please let me be the first to tell you I love you. And also send some vibes my way because I need to be told that I'm loved. I know I'm loved, but y'all know that it's one thing to hear it. It's another thing to know it, and it's another thing to feel it. Sometimes we won't get all three, but sometimes all three is necessary. Or sometimes we know it, but sometimes we also need to hear it. Sometimes we just need to feel it. We might not need to hear it. We just need to feel it. We might need to see it. I don't know. Yeah, folks, talk to you next time on another episode of Vulnerability Time. I am your host and published author, Josias April.